going to show you how to activate your melanin, because just because you have melanin, it doesn't mean it's activated. Melanin is like a battery. It has to be plugged in to a certain frequency so that it can be activated. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to get into some ancient Egyptian science. This is what the ancient Egyptians, this is called hieroglyphics. When you see hieroglyphics, this is pretty much a story based on the metaphysical principles of our ancestors. Our ancestors, in the lowest form, are physical beings, like your grandmother, your grandfather, your father, your mother. You know, if they passed away, they are considered your ancestors. But we also have what's called cosmogenetics. Like the Lord said, we come out of triple darkness. When you look in the sky and you see that blackness behind the stars, that's actually our greatest ancestor, because we are made up of elements. And these elements, all of these things that you see here are, you know, certain elements. In African spirituality, they would call these divine principles of nature. So, for example, like your body is made up of 75% water. Water predates the physical human. So water in our ancient African spirituality is our ancestor, and is worthy of praise. Without water, you will die. Okay? Oxygen is same. Without oxygen, you will die. Okay? So, go back to the top, Lord. Oh, all the way to the top. Go back to the top. Okay, so this is called the Tree of Life, the Anunian theology. This is the oldest religion ever found on the planet. This is the first religion of Kemet. Kemet also comes out of, understand, Kemet is great because we're able to see the statues and we're able to see the pyramids, but really the Kemetians come from the Nubians, which is why you sometimes when you go to the salon, you see Nubian. That's not just a, you know, that's just not a name. Nubian means the new being, not the cosmogenetics, but the creation of man himself, which makes us the new being of the elements that predate us. So here you have, these are called the primordial Agdad. This is before, this line is before creation. Before creation. This line, this section of the Tree of Life represents the number 0. 0 predates 1. 1 is the second number. 9 is the 10th number, if that makes any sense. The first number on the numeric scale is 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So this part of the chart represents 0, so I don't want to lose you. Now you have 8 primordial Natharu. Natharu is a way to say angels in African, okay? So we got to give back these words that's not really ours. These are European words, and words carry spirits, and spirits carry vibrations. At the end of the word angel, you have the word El, which means masculine. El is electricity. Electricity is a masculine principle, okay? Matter, or magnetism, in the word is Ma. The first word, the first 2 letters of matter is M-A, and the first 2 letters in magnetic is M-A. That's Ma. That's where the word Ma comes from. Mama. That's a divine. That's why babies say that without you having to teach them, because it's in their cosmogenetics. It doesn't have to be taught. So here you have 8 different primordial Natharu. You have what's called Amenet and Amen. So God, in the essence of the Most High, is not a man. That's the first lie they gave you. That's why they say angels, they give you the word El. They say cathedral. They say carnival. These are all masculine things. They're playing mental games. But you must understand that the Most High Creator has masculine and feminine principles. It's called duality, the binary code. So you have Amenet and Amen. Amenet and Amen is the number 0. It's called invisibility. These two are invisibility. So this is before anything. Existence predates creation because 0 predates the number 1. So I'm trying to make sure y'all not lost there. Here you have what's called Ka and Ka'et. That is black matter. So out of invisibility came darkness. That was these two. That's called Ka and Ka'et. Then you have here, you have He and Hehut. That is the expansion and contraction of the blackness. So that is the breath of God. Okay? That makes sense? Head and head. That's why you got the... That's where that comes from. It's the breath of the Creator. Okay? So expansion and contraction is what your lungs do. Once your lungs collapse, you're done here. Okay? So now, then we go here. Okay, we go into the last two gods here, which is vibration, which is Nun and Nunet. So you see these right here? See this right here, the W and the M? Okay, Nun and Nunet became vibration. Vibration is movement. So now that the all has its breath, the all starts to move. That black stuff you see in the sky starts to move, and when it starts to move, go down, Lordy. The friction and the energy, out of zero comes something. The word something in the word is the word some. That means the weight of, or existence, creation. The first being created, this is your ancestor. These are not real people. These are primordial, these are divine forces in nature. Ra is the sun. The sun is Ra. Let's go back, but now you don't got to scroll back up. But also, when you pray, you say what at the end? Amen. Why did you say that? Because they stole that from us. Amenet, and Amen is invisibility. So you're praying to the invisible one to heal your food, and you probably didn't even know it's why you were saying Amen. Okay? So, Amen, this is also known as the son of Amen. Okay? Ra. Ra, Re. Re is light. Ra is light. Okay? Ultraviolet ray. Rays. Ra. Ra. Spirit. Fire. Light. So the first form of creation out of nothingness was light. Once light hit the earth universe, things started, the universe itself started to wake up. So you have three forms of Ra. You have Nun, which is 12, which is, that's why he's taller than these guys, because at 12 the sun is stronger than any part of the day. So this is when you do your sun gazing, at noon. Okay? If you're trapped in a white supremacy system and you have to be at work on the clock, you can't be in tune with Ra at 12. Okay? So this is why we must use this spiritual system as a way to get free so we can become financially empowered as well.
That's lunchtime.
Let's get it. Lunchtime. It's when we eat. So, and then you have Ra, you have Atumre or Atumbra, and you have Herakuti or Kepra, excuse me, Kepra. So this is the sun at 5. It's going down, it's getting dark. This is nighttime. The beetle, usually what the beetle does is it rolls up is it takes dung from animals. This is called the Kepra beetle, and what it does is it takes the feces of other animals and it walks forward and it rolls it until it becomes a snowball. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they have numerous eggs inside of it, and those eggs hatch, and it's the rebirth of the Kepra beetle. So that's why darkness, is represented by a Kepra, because the resurrection of the morning sun, Ra, right, is the rebirth of the nation. So in the morning, birds start chirping, chickens start cooing, we start getting ready for work because we are in tune with nature. Now, these two are outside of the tree. This is the consciousness of the sun. Tahuti. Tahuti is known as the intellect. Also, I want to say, make this smaller, Lord, for me, please. This is not only the cosmos, this is your body. As above, so below. If I told you to draw a pyramid, 99% of you will probably make a triangle. But the same thing that's above the sand is under the sand. Okay? So as above, that's showing you that if you didn't know that, then you are kind of like not in tune with the spiritual system, because as above, so below. So this is also your body, your brain. Your neural system in your brain, like the Lord talked about, your electricity is the ray in your body. When your electricity turns off in your body, you die. Okay? This is Tahuti. Tahuti is the intellect of the cosmos and the intellect of yourself. Tahuti is creativity, Tahuti is arithmetic, mathematics. Tahuti is communication. Tahuti is hieroglyphics. That's why he carries a pen and he has the bird beak. The bird beak is for, back in ancient times, they didn't have pens. They dipped the bird beak in the ink and wrote with it. So that's why Tahuti has the sharp bird beak. Heteru and Ma'at. Ma'at is balance, divine order. So Ma'at is the reason the sun doesn't take 2 days off, ever. It's never going to take 2 days off because it's in the order of Ma'at. Heteru is power. Heteru is like me slapping you and you feeling it. So that's Heteru, okay? So this is the first form of creation was the light. All right. Now out of the light, you have the children of the light, which is Shu and Tefnut. Shu is air, space, and ether. Air is one of your many ancestors. Your body is made up of all types of oxygens. You have to dispel carbon dioxide. All that Shu. Shu is the wind blowing. Okay. Shu is a tornado and stuff like that. Tefnut is water. Okay, Tefnut is water, so that's another ancestor of yours. That's a divine principle of nature. Gad, you have earth. Gad is the minerals, and Nut is like the skyline. When you look up when you look from the earth and you see a sky, that's Nut. So that's the second form of creation. Okay, now out of these right here are cosmic principles. Now we start to get into, this is what we was calling carbon 7. Here you start to get into carbon 12. You start to get physical and dense. So you have Asar. Asar, the story of Jesus is stolen from Asar. Notice also Asar in the same stance as when people win the Oscar awards. Okay, so they're stealing our stuff and using it, to grow their commerce. But Asar is the soul. Asar, his wife, is Aset, wisdom. So before people were wise, they had to have a soul. So it's kind of showing you the breakdown on the physical human being. The first thing we have is an Asar, is the soul. Then we have what's called Aset, which is intuitive wisdom. I named my daughter Aset, okay? Aset, another name for Aset is Isis. So if you ever hear Isis in Greek, that is Aset, okay? That's also known as Yemenia and Yoruba and Santeria. Those are African indigenous Spanish. So if you go to Cuba and Dominican Republic, they say Yemenia. They don't say Aset. Okay, that's called Santeria. Then we have Set. Set is your ego. Set killed the Tsar and was revenged by the son of the Tsar, who is Heru, who eye is taken out, and that's the eye the brother got on his door out there is the eye of Heru, and we talked about how Heru is a falcon. So Set is the ego. Set is the husband of Nebtet, which is mortality. Now, in the story, it goes, Set, these two are brothers. Asar skipped Set to give Heru the ruler of the, to sit on the throne. Set didn't like that. They went to war, and he lost his eye. Well, he killed him, chopped him into 14 pieces. She put him back together. So what this is saying is pretty much a metaphysical story of the soul being torn apart by the want of physical things. You want your money, you lust for sex, you want your cars. That is Set. That's your ego tearing at your soul. So once your soul is torn apart, it takes someone wise to get put back together by the master of himself, which is Heru. So Heru is showing you as the master of yourself. And I just want to show you something real quick. Make that a little bit smaller, Laura. Make it a little bit smaller for me. And I'm going to show you what the matrix is based on. Okay? I just want to also say 0 and 1 is existence and creation. So those are the first two numbers. Notice that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 8 numbers. Okay, if you turn an 8 sideways, it's called infinity. but it's only infinity for your perception and your reality. So what the European has done is they've taken this tree of life, right? They got rid of God. They got rid of the 0 and the 1. They got rid of God and only left the box. Only left the box. Okay? Now what do I mean by the box? You see you have 4 points here and 4 points here. If I ask you to draw a square, most likely you're going to draw a square. But if I tell you to draw a cube, you're going to have to draw this square and then bring a line out here, bring a line out here, bring a line out here, and bring a line out here, and now you have a box. Right? So basically what the system that we're living in now, that they've erased Amen and Ra, okay, they've erased God from the equation, is the box. So I'm going to show you proof, brother. Enough beets, enough strawberries, enough red apples, then your sex drive will definitely control you. Because you're not feeding this circle energy zone the electricity it needs, and electricity is based on frequency, and frequencies is based on colors. So without red foods, you can't control, so then the next is we have sex. So you have the orange. So just to kind of give you a rundown, like I said, these is oranges. You want to control this area of your life. You know what I'm saying? You need to be more in tune with your orange and reddish hues. Your solar plex is also connected to the sun. Notice it's orange. Your solar plex is the sun inside your body. Okay? And it's also called the chi. The chi energy. That's why if you're bench pressing, if you're in the gym, and you gotta get that last joint up, you always make that noise. You gotta come from your stomach. Anybody that know anything about working out, when you get that last joint in, it's that yeah. That's the solar plex at work, which is in tune with the sun. So that lights up. Okay, so eat your oranges, eat your orange foods, and your stomach, that is for your stomach area. If you have a stomach ache, you shouldn't be taking no pills, no ibuprofen, and none of that silly stuff that they cloned from orange foods. I'm just giving you the jewels, man. The next joint, the diaphragm, yellow bananas, stomach area, the heart. You want to be more in tune, you want to be more loving, you want to be more caring, you need to be more in tune with your greens. And as you can see, like I said, this is all relates to the actual chart we just seen, so you can move on. I just kind of wanted to give you a relation, how the actual, as above, so below, and how the foods can actually affect your attitude. Notice, meat comes in none of those colors. Okay, so we have here, which is known as the pH chart. pH means potential hydrogen. Potential hydrogen is the amount of electricity or the lack of electricity in the body. Electricity, once it shuts off, you die. It's just that simple. Once you have no more electricity, you're done. Okay? So the key is, while you're alive, okay, is to enhance and activate your melanin by eating electric foods and not acidic foods. Acidic foods put mucus in the body, regular mucus. If you hot to spit, that buildup in your body is only based on you eating things below the 7. You would never have a cold in your life if you never ate these things below the 7. So we're just going to get in, as you can see the colors line up with the last chart I just showed you. But the most acidic foods, this is 10,000 times more acidic than the stuff above it. I didn't say 10,000 times acidic more than neutral. I said than the thing above it. All this is deadly. This is 10,000 times worse than this thing here. So what is that? Artificial sweeteners. You like your coffee and you like your shit, your little sugar, it's killing you. What it does is, white sugar shuts off your electricity for 6 hours. 1 can of Pepsi has 12 teaspoons of sugar. So you do the math. That's shutting off your electricity for about 2 or 3 weeks. 1 soda. Fried foods, maple syrup, beef, goat, pork, pickles, tobacco, soy sauce, liquor, canned foods, table salt. All that's acidic. Then the next level, 1,000 times more acidic than what's above it. Beer, coffee, cranberry, cream cheese. Mustard, hard cheeses, popcorn, chocolate, peanuts, white sugar. 100 times more acidic. So all of this stuff put mucus in the body, and it also calcifies your pineal gland. Okay? Understand that. So you have bread, cashews, potatoes, milk, cream, white rice, honey, ketchup, corn, or mayonnaise. Soft cheeses and cooked beans. Where's that water at, Lord?
And those areas give your body the environment to stay sick for disease.
Right. What mucus does is, this is how Dr. Sadie was able to cure AIDS and all this other stuff. What mucus does is it allows bacteria to remain in the body. But I'm going to speed it up because more people is coming in. So, but remember, spring water is neutral, coconut oil or coconut water and seawater is all neutral, and your blood should always be at 7.3, the pH. If not, if it's below that, then you are acidic and you are pretty much sick. Here, so the electric foods, you can click it forward, Lord. This is Dr. Sabi. Dr. Sabi is now our great ancestor, but if you don't know Dr. Sabi, then you definitely need to do more study. And Dr. Sabi cured AIDS, cancer, he cures every disease on the planet. I believe he was murdered because he was locked up and he died in jail. But they've been trying to get him, the feds locked him up in New York because he had a poster out in a New York Post, the New York newspaper saying, I cure AIDS. You know, any black people need a cure for AIDS, I got it. So they locked him up because he never had, they wanted proof. He beat the feds, he came to court barefooted. He was so in tune with nature, he walks barefooted. He came to court barefooted, beat the feds with no lawyer, and 80 people showed up that had AIDS, cancer, diabetes, and these things with proof that they were healed. So this is your great master teacher, Dr. Sadie. I'm a Sabiite. I actually only eat electric foods. I don't eat meat, I don't eat anything acidic. I only eat electric foods. So that's the late great Dr. Sadie. I shake to the ancestor. Now, Dr. Sadie is the master because what he based his diet on was simple genetic cosmogenetics. Dr. Sadie says, if it's not carbon-based, then don't eat it because you're a carbon-based people. Okay, so people of a dark hue are carbon-based people. Europeans are nitrogen-based people. Okay? Nitrogen-based people is more of a gaseous, a gaseous going the wrong way, not going the right way. Okay? So this is why they're able to break down meats and stuff like that. And actually, in our primordial stage, we didn't even have canines. Black people are not indigenously, if you find indigenous aboriginal people of Australia and places like that, they will not have the sharp fang. The sharp fang comes from nitrogen-based people. So the fact that we're mixed in, we're descendants of slaves and things of that nature, and not all of us are descendants of slaves because we was here first in the United States, okay? So you got the nuts and the seeds that are electric is hemp seeds, so that's weed. That's weed. Weed is the one of the superfoods on the planet. It's not meant to be smoked though. It's meant to be eaten. So you got raw sesame seeds, raw tahini butter, walnuts, and brazil nuts. All of those nuts make milk. You shouldn't be giving your baby cow milk. Cow milk is not even white, it's pink. Okay? It's pus and blood. The white is a mixture that they put in so you would not know what I just told you. So cow milk, if you go milk a cow, it's not going to be white. All these joints right here, all you got to do, soak them in some water, put them in the blender, put some agave in it, which is plant sugar, which is 5 times sweeter than regular sugar, so it tastes good. And you're going to have your milk. So my daughter never drank cow milk, okay? She only drinks electric milk. All right, let's get it. You got the grains. Rice is acidic. Rice is plastic. Rice is plastic. Rice is not real. Rice is a starch. It's 2 things combined to make something new. Rice is not real. Rice is plastic based. The real grains that grow from the earth are amaranth, finola, kamut, quinoa, rye, spelt, teff, and wild rice. Wild rice is black. So if you're eating white rice, you're on the wrong side of the scale. You're eating plastic. You got to get back to the electric grains. Spices and seasoning, you shouldn't be using white salt. White salt is fictitious, it's not real, it's laboratory made. You should be eating pure sea salt. Pure sea salt comes in many colors, pink, purple, many different colors. You want to get the sea salt, If you know, used to the small grains, there's two different grains. There's like real big, it's blocky, and then you got the smaller, like, you know, what we used to in the black community. So you want to make sure you get your grinded sea salt. Kelp, douce, nori, seaweed. Seaweed is actually the most strongest food on the whole entire planet. If your body has 108 minerals and seaweed has 98 of them. So you can actually live off of seaweed without eating any other thing, and you'll be healthier than any person you know. Okay? So that's a nugget. Baked sugar and pure agave. Agave is the real syrup, not that molasses and all that other shit. That sugar cane, which has been modified, broke down, and is basically a liquid white sugar. And like I told you, white sugar turns off your electricity for 6 hours. Okay? Okay, then you got the vegetables. So you got, I don't really want to read it all, but you got avocados, bell peppers. All vegetables are not carbon-based. Some vegetables are some bullshit. Cabbage is a fake kale. Cabbage is made from kale. Cabbage is a hybrid. Cabbage is not found in nature. Okay? Man created cabbage. Spinach is not found in nature. It's another type of kale. It's two plants that were mixed together from different parts of the world. They take one plant and they rape another plant. Those two plants never would have met, and you got your spinach. Broccoli as well. Broccoli is the worst. It's pretty much 100% nitrogen based, and that's why when you eat broccoli, you gotta fart. Nitrogen is gas. Okay? So if you wonder why you gotta fart after you eat broccoli, I just gave you the nuggets. So you got watercress, zucchini, turnip greens, squash, cherry tomatoes, the small tomatoes, and a real banana skip. Do you got the banana slide? Okay, so you got the oils. Do not cook with olive oil. Never cook with coconut oil. All the other oils that you read are some extra bullshit, because you rather cook with those than cook with what you've been cooking with. Vegetable oil, corn oil. Corn is not a real vegetable. Corn is man-made. There is no type of vitamin or mineral in corn. Corn is like eating paper, okay? So corn oil is like eating liquid paper. So here's the oils you really need. You need the weed oil, hemp seed oil. You need the avocado oil. And even though avocado is a mixture, it's a hybrid, it's still carbon-based. Okay, it didn't lose any minerals in the mixing. So that's why you still see avocado. Sesame oil, rapeseed oil. Okay, so as you see, I got my crystals on. You know, we're going to get into the crystal science. The Lord has on the, you got two of the joints with the, you got another one of those on you? Yeah, I just want to show them the magnetism between the bracelets so they know I ain't just spinning some pseudoscience. This is real life. Okay, so we talked about the realms of the body. Okay, black should be above and below. Okay, because remember, everything comes out of blackness. Okay, now, the red stones, get your pipe game right. Okay? The red stones, the carnelian and the red jasper, get the electricity in your testes and your ovaries to move. So it makes you, for women, it makes you more wet the way your red stones. Okay? For men, it makes you more aggressive when it comes to sex or staying hard. Okay? So this is not pseudoscience. I'm not really trying to take y'all to sex school, but what I'm doing is I'm giving you the jewels. Now, stones are either electric or they're magnetic. I can't make this up. Sorry, buddy. But I can pick that up with that. And these joints right here are stuck together, as you can see. Magnets. These come out of the earth. These grow out of the earth. Iron, he said iron's in your body. When you're iron deficient, they call that anemic. Anemic people need these. Why? Because it brings the iron up to the top of the blood. Like it did the other bracelet. I can't make that up. There you go. Thank you. So you have magnetic stones and you have electric stones. I have on some electric stones, okay? This right here is known as the turquoise. The turquoise, the frequency that vibrates from these colors is the same frequency that vibrates here in my voice box. So I'm a speaker, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer, I do all that shit. So I keep my turquoise on so I'm crystal clear. I know y'all can hear me. Now, the Lord got all type of stones on. He got the clear joint here. The Lord got the, what you got on, Lord?
Some turquoise, some blue lapis, and the clear crystal.
Okay, so he got the clear quartz here. Clear quartz is what gets you into your meditation, your yoga. Okay, clear quartz is going to bring you outside of your body. Clear quartz is good for when you're always on your phone. If you have a clear quartz chain, your phone is a microwave. When you're on your phone texting all day and you're doing like we do on Instagram, then the radiation from the phone is actually cooking your brain. If you had clear quartz chain on, it will block the electricity. Okay? Amethyst, the purple stones. The purple stones. If you look at the Egyptian statues, they have a lot of purple. Why? Because it is the pineal gland. It represents that eye that you got on the front of the club, and it represents the mind. So you're sharp. Okay? Telepathy. I'm able to see how you moving. From how you moving at an advanced rate, because my mental is vibrating at a certain frequency, because this raises the electricity. So rose quartz is for the thymus, for around the throat area, as you see. So the orange stones is for the stomach. If you have stomach problems, you have baby, you got a baby, you don't know why, she's always throwing up, buy her some yellow calcite, get her a little bracelet. It's going to heal that. We got to get away from the European pills and get back to nature. Okay, that's why it's called Natharu. That's the African word for nature. So nature is just a mix, a remix of the word nature. Let's go, Lord. So I just gave it to you. The clear quartz, all the clear stones, diamonds. That's why they say diamonds are a lady's best friend. Diamonds slow down time. Actually, if you had a diamond that was big enough, you would age a lot slower. That's why women live longer than men, because they are in tune with the diamonds. If they don't have it, they're at least thinking about it. They're always thinking about their ring. You know what I'm saying? Only time men think about diamonds is if we rappers or we looking for a come up. So women keep their mind on the diamond. That's why the woman is the creator of all. The black woman is God. Goddess, but we are the manifestation of her. We are a deficient her, actually. She has the titties, we have the fake titties, okay? So the third eye, so the clear quartz crystals or the diamonds are going to have you feeling like you are divine. Your purple stones are going to have you feeling connected to other people, to the universe, to things around you. You're going to always feel comfortable when you're around, when you got your amethyst. Your lapis lazuli and your turquoise, things like that right here, it makes you expressive. That's why I'm up here and I'm giving y'all these nuggets and it's nothing. Okay? The aventurine is for the heart. So this makes you more loving. The solar plex, the tiger eye, means I'm more strong. So if you're in the gym, it's time to go to the gym. Throw your your yellow stone on, your little ring, your bracelet, your anklet, or whatever, and you're gonna feel a lot more energetic. Because it's going to raise the energy in your solar plex. And I told you, your solar plex is just the sun in your stomach. Okay? Now you got your sacral, so you got your orange stones. It makes you more creative. If you write poetry, you write music, orange stones, red stones, makes you feel grounded. I am safe. Alright, you can skip that. Alright, so now I want to talk about this Fibonacci and the divine nine and the fact that we are nine ether beings. So the best way to relate this is everything starts at a point. You see that little hole right there? That little hole right there represents that zero that we talked about earlier when we were looking at the tree of life. So out of the zero comes one petal. Out of this one petal comes another petal, but then two petals, 1 and 1 is 2, but 2 and 1 is 3. So as you see, every time it goes out, you got 1, then you got 2, then you got 3, then you got 5, then you're going to have 8. The numbers is always going to stay the same. I'm going to show you why. Skip, Lord. This is called divine mathematics, and this is how you know that you are a descendant of the Most High Creator. Everything that is divine and carbon-based grows in a spiral. This is why we can get our hair twisted and we get dreads. This is why we can brush our hair and we have 360s. This is why the snail looks like that. That's why plants grow like that. That's why the dandelion grows like that. That's why whatever that is grows like that. That's why the cosmos. Now if you look, the point, the spiral, but what does that make though? The number 9. the number 9 was created by the universe, and it is the most high number in the universe. Every number after 9 is just an addition of 2 different numbers. Like 10 is 1 and 0. So 9 is the highest number. Click, Lord. So the divine 9 shows the Fibonacci ratio is how the universe grew, is how your body grew. So from the tip of your finger to that joint right there is 1.618. But from this joint to your knuckle is 1.618. But from your knuckle to your wrist is 1.618. From your wrist to your elbow is 1.618. From your elbow to your top of your crown is 1.618. From the top of your head to your waist is 1.618 of your elbow and your arm. And then from your legs down is 1.618 from the top of your head, you know, to the bottom of your feet. This is called divine mathematics. This is called the Fibonacci ratio. This is why black people can have dreads. And this is why we can have 360 waves. And this is why we are the divine beings when we are in tune with our mathematical selves. So you can tell we was created by mathematics. Why? Because every limb is 1.618 away from the other limb. So we grew the same way God did. Fast forward. And just to show you the math, here's the point, that's 0, 1, 1. You're going to make that curve here. 1 plus 1 is 2. You're going to make that curve here. 2 plus 1 is 3. You're going to make that curve here. 2 plus 3 is 5. You're going to make that curve here. And 3 plus 5 is 8. You're going to make that curve. And then 5 plus 8 is 13. You're going to make that curve. So it'll only get bigger, and it'll always come back to 0. Okay, so this is called the Fibonacci ratio, and you can see the 9 right here. So 9 is the most powerful number in the universe. 9 is the only number that can be multiplied by itself and always get 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 9 times 3, 27. 2 and 7 is 9. 9 times 4, 36. 3 and 6 is 9. 9 times 5, 4 and 5 is 9. 5, 4, 9, 6, 3, 9, 7, 2, 9. I can do this all day long. This is divine mathematics. The Guardians. What's good? What's next? Okay, so now what I want to do, I just kind of want to, now that I gave y'all a divine reality of who you really are, I want to show you why you're caught in this. You stepped out of the circle. We just saw the divine 9 create the circle, right? We stepped out of the circle. We left African spirituality and hieroglyphics for a man called Jesus. A white Jesus that they stole from Heru, who is the son of Aset Nassar. They stole the whole story, word for word, off the walls of Kemet. You just can't read hieroglyphics, so you wouldn't know. But there's enough master teachers that can. So they've taken the whole story and given him a white face. Okay, so Heru comes into Zeus. Zeus goes into Yahshua. Yahshua goes into Jesus. And Jesus is Jesus. And Jesus is really just us. So, like I told you earlier, if I told you to draw a square, you would draw that. But if I told you to draw a cube, you would have to make that line, this line, and this line, and now you have a cube, okay? So, the cube or a square is still complete because a circle is 360 degrees, but so is a cube, because this is 90 degrees, that's 90, that's 90, and that's 90. That's 360. It's complete. But it's a perception to reality. This is what the Matrix was based on. The blue pill was the spiral. The red pill was the square. Let's get into it. Let me get that next slide. I want to show you how they got you upside down and inside out. So this is the color of nature. All colors, all of these colors are the divine colors of the Natharu. Okay? This is the rainbow. Any color that's not in the rainbow is a combination of one of these colors. Okay? Now, go to the next slide. I want to show you how they got us fucked up. So now we just saw, go back one more time. Go back one more time. We saw this beautiful picture of nature. Now let's show you how the nitrogen-based people go against all the laws of nature so that you can be the slave. Look at this. Look at your rainbow. Your ancestral sign for unification has been given to those who are against the survival and the extension of this black melanated essence. Why? Because two women can't have a baby, and neither can two men. It's a destructive way of life. So that's why they gave it our flag. They said, let's get them the black people stuff. Get them the black people stuff. So, now when you go and do your little, I remember when everybody changed their Facebook page to the shit with the rainbow, and y'all played right into the ritual. Because that's what they're doing, they spirit cooking. They get you to take part in their ritual while they're really in big buildings partying, and you're out buying Christmas presents. They're talking about Ra and Ra'et traveling on the 21st to the 25th, and you're talking about Christmas. So they get you to, no matter how much you hate the white man, at the end of the day, every end of the year, you give them all their money back. If you spent black all year, Christmas comes, you give them the money. Hey, now let's get into this tree. Remember, I showed you guys the Kemetic tree. Now watch this. The pineal gland is shaped like a pine cone. Where does a pine cone come from? Travis, the pine tree. The pine tree is in Africa, represents that spiritual third eye that you got on the front of the building. So what they do is they let you know we got your mind, body, and soul. Because you're going to celebrate Christmas and no matter how much you hate us. You're going to go buy more Xbox games. We own that. You're going to go buy more jerseys. We own those. You're going to go buy silly shit and we own it. So what you're going to do is you're going to put all this shit here and you're going to play a part in this ritual. Watch this. This, the tree at the bottom, the most mundane level, we talked about it. The ego, the toys. If you don't buy toys for Christmas, your kids will hate you because you taught them to lie. So they're going to hate you because their friends got toys, and if you don't explain, break down why, like I still celebrate Christmas. But it's not called Christmas. I celebrate the ancient African spirituality. So you're going to get presents, but it's in the name of Ra and Ra'et. The balls, these lights, represent the chakras. We just went through the stones, the colors of the body. So the bulbs on the light represent not only the electricity in the body that it takes to activate the pineal cone, but the balls also represent those circular energy zones. And look what they got at the top. A star. The sun is a star. So they got you playing a part in a ritual that you have no idea that you're playing a part in, and we pretty much keep ourselves in the headlock by playing a part in this white supremacy ritual based on the travel of the sun. I'm gonna just give you this. They say Jesus died and rose on 3 days, which was the 25th, which is why you celebrate Christmas. Nah, that's not a fact. Because what happens is the sun pauses for the only time of the year for 3 days, on the 21st and the 22nd. And then on the 25th, it travels again. So that was Jesus dying, and on Christmas, resurrected. That's our science. They took it. Next slide, Lord. The eye you got outside on the joint represents the pineal gland. You got, as you can see, all these parts in the brain. This is a third eye. You see the eye? You see the brow? You see the stem? You see the divine line? I know you see it. Next slide. Calcified pineal. How do you count? This is a pineal gland. When the black soldiers died in Vietnam, after they were dead, the scientists was digging in their head to find out that the pineal gland was still activated. It was still pulsing. It was still receiving information from the universe, from the sun, from the ground, from the grass. It was still doing that. So they had to do more studies. They said, wow, the black brain lives outside the body. Holy shit! We gotta hide this. So what did they do? The fluoride is actually, the fluoride from toothpaste calcifies your pineal gland. And the acidic foods calcifies your pineal gland. So, get back to your electric foods.
Also bad thoughts.
Bad thoughts.
All of that.
Engaging in bad thoughts, bad energy, bad vibration, bad music. It all decalcifies the pineal gland. And it's not, the pineal gland must be exercised, okay? It must be fed, and it must be exercised. So then that's it, Lord. That was the last slide. And that's pretty much it, man. Thanks for having us. We the guardians. And we're gonna keep bringing that information, man. Thanks a lot. If you got any questions, you can get them in with me and the Lord right now. And